We are joined now by Ron Magill, as we are most Tuesdays. Ron will give us the latest news and opinions from the animal world. How you doing, Ron?
Doing all right, Mike. Doing all right. Getting a little besieged now with all this stuff that's happening at the Dallas Zoo, and these animals that are missing and hurt, and some inferring they may be even intentionally killed with this vulture situation. So there's a lot of things going on there. A lot of red flags being raised.
I'm not familiar with the Dallas Zoo news. Can you lay it on me?
Sure. The Dallas Zoo is, it's a world-class institution. In the last several weeks, they've had a clouded leopard get out from what appeared to be a cut enclosure, purposely cut enclosure. They had a vulture that ended up dead from, all they're saying is, an unnatural wound. They are not going beyond that. They had another primate enclosure with the enclosure fencing cut, purposely cut. Fortunately, none of those primates got out. And then yesterday, now they had another primate enclosure cut with two emperor tamarins taken, missing. So this is a big, it's a big issue.
Well said.
What the hell's going on over there?
I don't know, Mike. I got to be honest with you. I don't want to speculate. I don't work at the Dallas Zoo. I do know it's a world-class institution. I know staff members who work there who are just absolutely great, dedicated personnel. But from what I'm seeing, this is obviously something being done intentionally. I find it hard to believe that all four of these incidents are coincidence. If I was going to use any kind of speculation at all, I would lean towards some kind of disgruntled employee or some type of, extreme activist who just wants, has an issue with the Dallas Zoo for one reason or another. But at the end of the day, it's horrific because, Dallas today right now is experiencing 30-degree weather. They were able to find the clouded leopard, so it wasn't taken. They found it and were able to resecure it after it got out.
They found the clouded, because the clouded leopard, by the way, was my number one suspect. Got out, started freeing all the other animals once he experienced life on the outside, killed a vulture just for fun, developed a taste for blood.
That's good, Mike. That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the bottom line is my gut instinct, because, Dallas Zoo has a whole series of cameras, security cameras around the park. They have a system or protocol in place. And for these things to happen without being captured through the cameras or through the protocol leads me to believe that it's someone who's familiar with the system and the protocol. It's like I was telling a lot of these people interviewing me, what about your security? I go, banks have good security too, but there's still bank robberies.
It's my experience watching cinema in the 90s, look at the IT guy, and check the Barbasol can twice. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't put it past anything, Mike. But the sad fact is, right now in Dallas, it's 30-degree weather, and if those animals are out not being cared, they're not going to survive. These little emperor tamarins are only about a pound. They're only about 9-10 inches long. They live in the tropical forest of the Amazon basin. They're not going to get what they need in Dallas, especially in 30-degree frickin' weather.
Ron, what are security measures at the zoo? Because fences seem an obvious one. But
sure,
and also, how often do people try and take stuff from the zoo?
Well, I'll tell you, years ago, probably 20-something years ago, we had some of our ambassador showbirds stolen out of the amphitheater. Somebody broke into the amphitheater, bypassed the alarm system, and stole these birds. The thought comes to mind right away. There's a huge black market for these animals. These were our talking parrots that did the shows. They were kind of our stars of the show. There's a huge black market for that. These small emperor tamarins also have a huge black market. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons they're threatened in the wild, is because they're, raped out of the jungle and sold as pets. And they do not make good pets. People don't understand that. People look at the picture and they go, oh my God, they're so cute. These emperor tamarins have these huge, long, white-like mustaches that come out. And they are adorable to look at. They're absolutely incredibly looking animals, but they don't make good pets. And, anybody who thinks, if it's one of these extremists who's, I'm just going to set them free because they deserve to be free. Well, no, you may have condemned it to death by letting it out in Dallas in 30-degree weather.
Ron, we find ourselves in a heated MVP debate this morning. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, who's the MVP? So I'm asking you, who's the MVP of the zoo? I need 3 animals. Give me a bronze, a silver, and a gold of just the MVP of your zoo.
Well, that's a hard one. That really is a hard one. I would go, probably our first MVP is going to be the gold is, well, let's start with the bronze. The bronze is going to be Goliath, the Galapagos tortoise. because he's an animal that is the oldest animal in the zoo. He's over 100 years old. He's one of the animals that, select guests can go in and meet him and touch him and scratch his neck. And
he likes his neck. Yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah,
he likes his neck scratched.
You've done that before. So that makes a big impression. So he would get the bronze. I'm going with the silver. I guess it's going to be Barani. Barani's our male Sumatran tiger. And it's that first impression. It's the first main exhibit on the right-hand side, that big tiger temple. And when you look at Barani and his massiveness and his strength, that leaves a really good first impression of coming to the zoo. But I'm going to give the gold to Malcolm the giraffe.
Yeah.
Because Malcolm is the giraffe that'll come right up to that feeding platform, stick out that 20-inch tongue, wrap it around your hand, take that piece of leaf from your hand or the little carrot slice, and man, that leaves an indelible impression, baby. When you see that 20-inch purple tongue come out and you're looking eye to eye at an animal that stands 17 feet tall, that makes an impression. He gets the gold.
Yeah. Giraffes are always the MVP of the zoo experience. For my daughter and me, it's so IG friendly. By the way, my wife approached you at the zoo a couple of weeks ago, and she left with the impression that you did not know who she was.
Of course stop it, Mike. I did know who she was. I was in the middle of doing a special tour for a special guest of the zoo, and I said, "Oh my God, hi!" And as a matter of fact, I said, "Please say hi to Mike for me."
She omitted that. I don't think that actually happened, and I should have framed it.
Ron a liar? Is that what you're?
1 week, guys, I'm going to do this segment without one of you throwing me under the bus. Just 1 week.
I'm just saying you've met her several times. It would have been. You should have.
I have met her. I know exactly.
Pretended to be more excited to see her.
She's a stunning woman. I've always been amazed that she married you, but I think I know who she is very well.
What's her name? Wait. What's her name?
Yeah, what's her name?
I don't know.
That is a key detail that she omitted. Either you're lying, and listen, I know Cynthia, and that's her name. She doesn't lie. She is saying that you didn't say any of that. So did you know who she was or not, Ron?
I believe Ron on this. I think he did.
Yeah,
I knew who she was when she came up to me with her daughter. I knew who she was. I am going to admit, yes,
What's her daughter's name?
I'm terrible on names.
What's her daughter's name?
I don't know. I just told you I'm terrible on names.
Oh, Jesus, Ron. We've had
We've
had dinner together.
We sat there.
We broke bread.
We got your daughter popcorn at the highlight thing, and she loved the popcorn. You remember?
Yeah. Who loved it?
That was Chris.
That was my daughter, Ron.
That was Chris Cody's daughter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. What's Chris Cody's daughter's name?
I don't know.
Jesus. You think you know a guy?
Oh, jeez.
All right, I'm done with this guy. Anybody else have questions?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anybody's wives' names. I'm sorry.
Well, I got two. First, what's my daughter's name?
Oh, Jesus. Guys, I don't know any names.
Okay.
Let's stop that conversation.
You make us feel like the most important parents in the room.
Wait, not a single daughter? Like, okay, you took my twin daughters, right? You took them for a VIP tour.
I don't know.
The zoo.
I don't know, Stugotz. Just saying it right now. I don't know.
You threw one of them off the golf cart. I mean,
You're not throwing them off the golf cart.
Unintentionally. I mean,
that was Lewis. You threw Lewis off a golf cart.
Well, I did that to Lewis, but Ron did it to Emma.
Wait. Do you know
daughter's name is Emma?
Do you know who just spoke on the air? Who's sitting at the board? No. Who's sitting at the board next to Chris?
Roy.
No.
The other Chris. The other Chris.
Other Chris.
Oh, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Come on,
You play
baby. Come on,
basketball with him.
Yeah.
You run
Tony kicked my ass in basketball. I'll never forget him.
He retired you.
He retired me. There you go. Tony solidified the fact that you need to get off the court, Ron.
All right, my second question is, can you explain the benefits of horseshoes for horses?
Yes. Horses, normally speaking, are on a terrain that keeps their hooves in place. However, sometimes when we keep on a perfectly manicured terrain and such, their hooves can overgrow. Just like you go in and get a pedicure or a manicure, those hooves, the shoes protect the hooves from splitting. They can protect the hooves from that type of damage, and horses' hooves, and keep the frog clean by having a farrier go out there and put shoes on your horse. He's basically helping to maintain the health of that hoof, which can be very sensitive. So it's very important.
Ron, I have a question for you. So there are three sort of main animals that are accepted in the popular culture as sort of being okay, or four, I guess. Chickens, cows, pigs, and fish. We've all kind of, as a society, agreed it's not gross to eat those things, and those things are delicious. They go with a lot of meals. Is there one that we're missing? Is there something where people will go, oh, that's weird that you'd eat that, but it would be a good, versatile dish with a lot of different flavors, with a lot of different kinds of food? What for you is the animal that humans don't eat that we should?
Well, it's not that humans don't eat it, but most people look at it as some type of weird exotic food. Alligator.
Really?
Ostrich.
Yeah.
Ostrich also. Really good quality meat, no fat, and high in protein.
What about human?
Jesus Christmas. Who's that? Cody? Did he just say that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it
No,
me?
Cody. No, Cody. That's called cannibalism.
But do we know if it's good?
Jesus Christmas.
I mean, desperate times. We're just asking.
Yeah, it's this desperate times. Where's LeBatard? Dan, I need
No,
him.
we're just saying in desperate times. In desperate times.
I would have asked that with him here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
so
I would
Ron-
have followed up. I mean,
Ron, the reason why I asked that is because a food blogger was fined $18,500 after posting a video after buying, preparing, and eating a great white shark. Is great
Well,
white
yeah,
shark...
because a great white shark's a protected species.
Hang on a second. Why are great white sharks a protected species?
Yeah, they should not protect
they're,
those animals.
They're apex predators. Like they
Awful.
eat everything.
You gotta
Occasion-
need protection.
You
I mean-
occasionally show
Or
them who's
lions
boss.
and tigers,
We need
but they're also
protection.
protected, guys.
Why are they
Because
protected?
they're an imperative part of the food chain. They keep populations in balance. If you don't have white sharks eating things like seals and sea lions, the seals and sea lions get out of proportion. They start eating all the fish. Fishermen are not catching any fish. You start losing the tourism industry and fish. People are not getting enough fish in their diet. It's just a domino effect,
It's a circle
guys.
of life.
Everything plays a very
Great
important
whites are
role.
eating the fishermen.
What now?
Great whites are eating the fishermen.
I saw that actually.
Oh, jeez, guys.
Yeah.
Ron, we haven't discovered like a large percent of the ocean. What's an animal out there that if they discovered it, you'd be like, interesting?
Something analogous to a Loch Ness monster. You know, something that is so deep in the ocean that has not been
Like
seen.
a mosasaurus.
Something like that. A mosasaurus. It's called Mesosaurus, I think.
Yeah.
No, mosasaurus.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
okay.
My wife's name is Cynthia, so just file that one away.
He knew that one. Though.
Yeah.
$3.
And Stugotz' daughter's name is Emma. How about that?
Yeah. How about the
Yeah.
other one?
How's the other one?
I don't know what the other one is.
She's been.
Anyway,
you've been.
The bottom line is,
Happy to
yes,
see
like
my
that.
wife for 15 years at show events and whatnot.
Right.
My daughter's name is Claire, by the way.
We've had
It is.
maybe 400 interactions. It's just deeply disappointing.
You know, let me explain something to you guys, and I say this with pure sincerity and humility. I'm old. I'm forgetting things I did yesterday. I'm serious, guys. I'm really forgetting.
Mike has
things
something
I
for that.
did yesterday.
Yeah.
Mike, there's going to come a day I'm going to come up to you and I'm going to forget your name. I feel it coming.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be that I don't treasure our friendship, that I don't have the utmost respect for who you are. It's just that I'm freaking old and I'm forgetting names. I don't know what the problem
that
is.
happens.
but it's
COVID
happening.
brain.
Yep.
Ginkgo,
Listen.
intermittent fasting, the right diet,
Little alpha GPC.
a little antidepressant.
Talk
Mix
to
it
me when
in
you're
there.
60, brother. Talk to me when you're 60.
Well, Ron, speaking of old, Greg Cody was here.
Lexapro.
And he left. And we were wondering, Chris was really pressing him on this, and I don't blame him. But Greg is saying, because he has a dog, he's less than 1 year old, I think, that he cannot leave him in a cage for 4 consecutive hours because it's a really bad thing. So how long can you? I'm really checking on Greg Cody and whether or not he just felt like leaving a couple hours early today. What's the longest you can leave a dog in a cage and feel good about it?
I've left, when I first get a dog, a puppy, I leave him in the kennel overnight, over 8 hours.
The
And
gappy.
that's to teach him, that's how you kennel train a dog, so that he knows to hold it, because dogs instinctively, even as puppies, they don't want to defecate or urinate where they sleep. So he'll hold it in that kennel until you open the kennel, and then you take him for a walk immediately. And that's how you slowly but surely puppy train an animal how to be crate training.
My dad claims that he gets home after 4 hours and the dog shits and poops in the cage. And that's why
Shits and poops?
he says that's why he oh, my bad. Pees and poops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he may have,
Or he just wanted to leave early.
he may have just wanted to leave early. He may just hate my segment and not want to be there.
No, he loves your segment. It was.
Yeah. I got a sneaking suspicion he'll be back for the post game.
I don't mean to like impugn Greg's ability as a dog
Weird.
owner, but he seems like he's having a very difficult time controlling Jumpin' Charlie, and that other dog owners seem to have a stricter handle on their ability to train their dogs. It doesn't seem like Greg has a firm enough hand.
Listen, with all due respect to Greg, you know, dogs are different. There are different personalities in dogs. Some are easier than others. I mean, I'm sure you could talk to human parents that said, I couldn't get my kid to sleep overnight until he was like 5. Whereas me, I train my kids the way I train my dogs. I remember when our first child was born, he would start crying like, oh, my wife is going, I got to go see him. I go, no, you don't. There's different cries. Let him cry. No kid ever died from crying. Okay. And my wife is sobbing in the bed as I'm making her do this. And sure enough, he would stop crying after a while. Then he start again. I said, okay, we go in there. Because what he cries so much that he actually vomit. He gets so angry that he actually vomit. I said, okay, let's go in there, clean it up, put him back in. But he's not coming into the bed with us. Okay. And that was something that it was very difficult for my wife. I understood it, but she'll be the first one to tell you now that both of our kids were sleeping through the night by the time they were 2.5 months old, through the night without a problem. And that is something that is necessary, not just for the kids' health, but for your own health, guys, your own health. You don't want to, I love my kids as much or more than anything in the world, but I also love my relationship with my wife, and you got to be able to know how to keep those things separate.
I love my relationship with my daughter as well. Her name is Juliet, just for future reference. Spell it the French way. All right, Ron, you've insulted everyone at their core. Chris, you wanna remind them of what your daughter's name is, or have them guess at the next highlight event?
Well, you can't get into the next highlight game unless you say Mike and I's daughter's name.
Yeah.
I already forgot Mike's daughter's
name.
Oh, Jesus.
My God.
This is frightening. I'm sorry, guys. I really am. I'm sorry. Listen, you guys can cut me loose whenever you feel necessary.
No, we're cutting you loose.
Nah, we love you, Don.
No.
I don't think I've ever even told him my daughter's name. This is an unfair game.
It's totally unfair.
Don
and he saw
Magill.
my daughter 15 years ago.
Don
Hey,
Magill.
you guys laugh. Letterman, that's a big joke because when I did the Letterman show, and I did it more than once, he always called me Don. He never called me Ron.
Give it to him.
Oh, man.
Let me give it to him.
Yeah, I know it sucked, but the way it was.
Ron, do they call you Don Magill in Sábado Gigante or no?
Don Ron.
Yeah.
Don Ron.
By the way, the Emperor Tamarin looks like Dave Letterman looks now.
Yeah, well, that's true. Look at him. That's how I feel. I feel like that old grizzled beard guy who just is lost in his own mind.
Yeah.
If you ever started your own signature rum, you should call it Don Ron.
Don Ron.
Or Rum McGill.
That's good. It's funny because that's how Don Francisco used to always refer to me. Ron, like the rum, because that's how they spell rum in Spanish. Bacardi is R-O-N. So
Are you a Ronald?
I am a Ronald. I hate that name. I despise that name.
Really?
Yeah, I despise it.
Yeah, you make a decision at some point to be a Ron.
I made a decision to be Ron many years ago. I cut out. I think only my mom and my neighbor from when I was a little kid still calls me Ronnie.
Wait, you're a Ronald or a Ronaldo?
I'm a Ronald.
Okay.
So mom will call you Ronald when she's mad at you, right?
Ron.
She's always called me Ron. She's never. Yeah, my dad couldn't pronounce it. I don't even know why they named me that because my dad couldn't say who. He has such a heavy Cuban accent. Oye, Ron. So he just ended up calling me Cabron.
Cabron.
Don Ron.
All right, Ron. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah. Hopefully, I can remember to call in.
Yeah, you've forgotten recently.
I didn't forget. I was in an emergency. You know what, guys? I'll talk to you next week.
You're
Bye.
slipping.
All right.
See ya.
Yeah.